Rise up, keep pounding, then fire those cannons.
After a short, slight hiatus, we are back on another episode of Joe's on the Pros. And these average Joes are going to try and tell you what in God's green earth Jim Irsay and the Indianapolis Colts have shoved wherever they're going to shove it, because they have seemed to mail in this season more than they already have. Well, and we are joined by the crew as always. Brennan down below, Andrew there, JR there.
Well, he said he's never hired a losing coach.
I wanted to hire a coach with experience. All right, sure.
I mean, a guy ESPN experience. He's experienced on a lot of different things.
Yeah, he didn't say what kind of experience.
Hey, no. He said with a playoff win.
Hey, he's 16-10 at the high school level with a state playoff win. All right, it counts.
So yeah, he does have experience in winning in the playoffs.
He does.
In high school.
Do you guys not remember Peyton Manning telling him to stop trying to call plays when they played together?
I guarantee you they're going to run some kind of triple reverse in this game, and it's going to be awesome.
What was it the Colts that ran that really weird fake punt thing that didn't work?
It was. They're going to do that.
I got to say, I watched his first press conference today, like his first one alone today. He kind of had me fired up a little bit.
He's a great personality.
Great personality.
And if he was on the right track, he could be an NFL coach at some point in his career. It's just really weird to pass over two former NFL coaches already on the staff, and John Fox and Gus Bradley, to go and hire a dude who used to play for you, who's not in the organization.
How often do you have someone being named interim coach that was not a part of the coaching staff when a firing happened?
First time I've ever seen it happen.
He is a part of the organization, though. He was a special assistant in the front office this year.
Okay.
A special assistant in the front office, I don't really count that as part of the coaching staff, though.
But he was what I was saying.
He was still a part of the organization. Brennan's saying he wasn't. I mean, but here's the thing. I think as a player, and he said this, and I heard this on the radio, your offensive line was supposed to be the strength in Indianapolis. That was supposed to be your strongest point. And they have been terrible. So you bring in a guy who probably should be in the Hall of Fame as an offensive lineman, a guy who has won as a player, who has played with some of the greatest of all time, and has been coached by some of the greatest of all time. He has a lot of experience. The question is can he lead these guys? You know, the question is can he lead these guys to at least be better? Now, I don't know how much of a handicap at the quarterback position he's going to have. Why are you starting Sam Ehlinger when you have both Matt Ryan and Nick Foles sitting right there?
We've seen what Matt Ryan is. Matt Ryan is not a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Then start Nick Foles. Over Sam Ehlinger.
I don't think it matters who starts at quarterback, because none of them are going to be upright long enough for it to matter.
Let me ask you this. If you're trying to improve the offensive line because you think it's an area that needs to be addressed, you don't go about it by signing a head coach who was an offensive lineman. You sign him as your offensive line coach. You don't sign him as your head coach.
Yeah, this strikes me as they're looking at it as, okay, we feel like the talent is there on this team in some capacity, and we want somebody in there who is going to motivate or somehow, inspire these guys to play better. So let's leave the other coaches where they're at to continue, doing their duties there. And we can take a flyer on Jeff Saturday here in this position, knowing that, hey, if it works well, you kind of struck gold accidentally. And if it doesn't, you were going to hire another coach at the end of the season anyway.
This is just the most blatant giving up on your season move I've ever seen. It's
a marketing thing.
I don't know that it's giving up on your season, because you also have to take into account. I think back in the 80s, the Chicago Bears did this. When they hired Mike Ditka had no coaching experience, but he had a love for the Bears, and we saw where he ended up. So I wonder if it's something similar, obviously different positions, different years, different everything with Saturday. But Saturday loves the Colts. So is the love for the
team not getting hired at the beginning of the season? He's getting hired in the middle of a disaster season. he's getting thrown out. He's getting shoved out there in what's going to be a massive disaster.
And also the literal position is interim coach. He was not signed as the head coach.
Yeah. This is a last-ditch effort for this season. I mean, keeping Frank Reich in place after disappointing season after disappointing season, underachievement after underachievement. I mean, what was that going to get you the rest of this year?
I think Frank Reich gets a really bad shake and a lack of appreciation for what he did do. He's going to be a head coach again, and he's going to excel somewhere else in an organization that actually tries. Because this Colts organization has shown over the last since the end of the Manning days that they refuse to put together a quality team on the field. If they start succeeding somewhere, they give up somewhere else.
People keep giving the Panthers a bad rap about the quarterback situation, but the Colts have had a worse quarterback situation for a much longer time.
With how bad, to be completely honest with you, with how bad the AFC South looks, the thing is if the Colts can go on a run, they have a shot. Tennessee is not anything special.
Not with
they have a shot still at that division. They still have a shot at that division if they can go on a run.
That's a big if.
Great to watch,
That's a big if.
Win it with an interim coach.
Hey, Steve Wilkes came out and got a win, but then we saw what happened against JR's Bengals. We won't talk about that.
Yeah. Can we talk about the last 2 weeks of throttling that the Bengals have done to the Falcons and the Panthers? There's only one more team from the Joes that's coming up, and they will be throttled as well.
That's true.
I don't know if throttled is the right word.
JR's throttling everybody.
Everybody needs a good throttling.
I'm working with amateurs. I'm working with amateurs, really.
Moving on.
Hold on. We're a bunch of average Joes.
No. Right now you're acting worse than that.
All right. So, in all honesty, though, what is the highest ceiling for the Colts
this season?
This season, what is their ceiling?
Where are they at right now?
They're 3-5-1. They're 3-5-1.
I think they're going to be lucky to win 5 games.
I'd say their ceiling is 7 because they still play in a really poor division. They still have some division games left.
I think their ceiling is a playoff. Is winning that division. I still think they can do it, and I think their floor is they finish second to last in that division.
They don't look near good enough to get to the playoffs.
But I feel like, again, I'm going to say this, and I know it's a baseball reference. We talk about this. The Phillies named an interim manager, and they went on a run, made a wild card spot, and made it to the World Series.
Baseball season is a lot longer than a football season. You have a lot more time for adjustments.
I also have to say, the Phillies roster relative to the rest of the league was massively underperforming, and
Correct.
There's a lot more talented. And the interim manager was better for it because he was able to use those players better. The Colts roster is a mess, and probably is performing where it's supposed to be right now.
I disagree. I think we
overrated this team going into the year. I certainly did.
We overrated Matt Ryan specifically. We thought Matt Ryan was the missing piece for the Colts.
Overrated that offensive line.
They've also had a bunch of injuries on defense. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. I think also you look at it too, though. It's some of these players are underperforming. That offensive line is underperforming where they should be.
That's fair.
And I think that if they can get the right kick in the butt, they can turn it around and give themselves some protection for that running game, for the pass game to open up.
But it all comes back to quarterback play, though. The quarterback, none of those 3 quarterbacks is leading this team to a charge in the second half, especially with the lack of weapons that they have.
A quarterback needs more than 0.2 seconds in the pocket to be able to throw a pass.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Pass off.
If you gave Matt Ryan more protection, he was getting hit more than any other quarterback in the league, I believe, at the time that they made the switch.
Besides Justin Fields, yes.
Well, Justin Fields is running, though, to my point, because Matt Ryan doesn't leave the pocket. So if you fix the offensive line, you give your quarterback more protection, you give him more time to make throws, he won't be making these bad reads into interceptions. He won't be fumbling the ball at the league highest rate. That's why I said when they made the change to Ellinger that nothing was going to change, because it was just going to be the same offensive line protecting a different quarterback, or lack thereof.
But at least Ellinger is a little bit more mobile. I mean, if you're going to have a bad offensive line,
I guess it's working for the Bears too, because that's kind of what Justin Fields is doing.
Yeah.
I want to see them give.
I like how the Bears' strategy went from, all right, Justin Fields, do this, to Justin Fields, just do whatever you want, and we'll see what happens.
You know what? I just want to see. I want to see them. I think Nick Foles is the answer. I'm a Nick Foles fan. I think he can do it. He's led teams on second half runs. Give him the reins. Let's see if he can actually do it.
Yeah, but if you're giving up on the season, you may as well give the younger guy an opportunity to see what he has. I mean, that's what they're trying to do in Carolina with PJ Walker. So,
PJ Walker.
XFL legend PJ Walker.
He looked good one week and crapped the bed the next.
Yeah. Speaking of crapping the bed, let's go ahead and take a look at our Week 8 predictions.
Okay, keep in mind, everyone, this was 2 weeks ago because we did not have an episode last week. All four of us were busy with the same thing, actually.
Yeah.
Our online baseball league draft. So, which was always a lot of fun.
Busy time. But speaking of crapping the bed, I was the one who crapped the bed this week. A good little 1-4 record.
Yeah,
just gonna go ahead and look at that cool 4-1 right there.
Hey, I'll take 3-2. I'll keep my lead where it is. Hey, JR wasn't the worst this week.
Look, I will say that Thursday night game was a very interesting game, a very fun game, and I was.
You were there. You were there at the game, right?
I was there at the game, and I was pacing. I did a lot of pacing that game.
We want to talk about the Bengals throttling a couple teams, but they themselves kind of got abused by the Browns.
Yeah,
did that game happen?
JR just blocked it from his memory.
He's like, I don't remember this. When were they on Monday night?
I do not recall.
And I think, as we all expected, the Bills throttled the Packers.
It wasn't as bad as we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it was closer than.
But then the Packers go up and throw up 9 points against the worst defense in the league the next week.
Yikes.
Oh, Aaron Rodgers throws 3 interceptions.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It was rough. It was Falcons and Panthers. Andrew, you and Brennan were on the two sides of that one. A little overtime, 37-34
that
shootout.
Was the stupidest games I've ever seen in my entire life. And really the game was kind of dumb, but it was the ending that made it the stupidest. I will say this. What was supposed to have happened. The sequence of events that gave the Panthers a chance to win that game was so unbelievably stupid the universe had to overcorrect. That said, the Panthers have...
Are you talking about the Hail Mary? Because that was a beautiful pass.
The Hail Mary was ridiculous. There is no like that right there was a complete and total shit show.
That was bad coverage.
Yeah, that was. What I'm saying is the Falcons were in the driver's seat. They should have won that game. A Hail Mary, pray to God, deep throw where DJ Moore somehow managed to get behind the defenders and catch a 60-something yard touchdown. Crazy stupid. They should win the game on that. Takes off his helmet, throws it. Misses the extra point, goes to overtime. Bird falls down running a deep post, leading to an easy interception and a big run back. And then the kicker misses a 30-freaking-yard field goal.
You didn't even actually the first part before even the Hail Mary was DJ Moore dropping a 4th and 16 that would have given them a first down on a potential game-winning drive. So there was that beforehand. Like the Panthers had every opportunity to win the game and should have won the game. But honestly, I'm okay with it because we get a better draft pick at the end.
But you know what? Let's see if the Panthers can bounce back. We'll talk about that game here in just a second.
I don't know if I want them to bounce back.
I know. Let's take a look at
CJ Stroud, baby.
Let's take a look at the records. Let's see where we're all at here. So taking a look at the records, Andrew with a 3-2 week keeps his lead at 23-12. I'm 1-4, so I moved below 500 at 17 and 18. Brendan,
Don't look now. He's only 3 games back of me now.
Only a 3 games back, and JR's trying to climb out of the cellar.
The comeback is
4
on,
games
baby.
behind me. 4
He's
games
not even
behind
stuck
me.
in neutral. He's stuck in park.
So let's move on to this week, starting with that Falcons-Panthers matchup of the week. Thursday night football.
I'm sorry,
Atlanta
Andrew, you are required by law. You're required by law to pick Panthers.
No, I'm not.
If you're contractually obligated.
JR, let's start with
show me where I signed. I didn't sign a dang thing.
well, let's start with you two, seeing as how you two are fans. Where are you guys going with this game?
You can go first, Brandon.
Rise up.
That's all. That's all.
It. Rise up.
All right. So
Andrew.
Here's the thing. I can tell that the Panthers, at least their front office or whatever, is trying to do something to get better draft picks, because there was a stipulation in the Baker Mayfield trade that if Baker ended up playing 70% of the Panthers snaps, that the 5th round pick that they sent to the Browns would end up becoming a 4th. Last week against the Bengals, Baker brought the Panthers 3 touchdown drives in the second half after PJ Walker put up 9 yards and 2 interceptions in the first half passing. So you would think that Baker would have the next shot at starting this week, but no, they have said that PJ Walker is once again starting for the Panthers. So you know that they are keeping an eye on how many snaps Baker is playing for the Panthers to make sure he stays under that 70%. Because if they were playing to win, Baker would be the starting quarterback, because he played a heck of a lot better than PJ Walker last week. I know PJ Walker has looked good in past couple weeks, but Baker was your starter at the beginning of the year, and that's one of the worst QB performances I've seen out of PJ Walker that first half last week. And I don't see why he should still. It was horrible. Literally 9 yards passing through 2 interceptions. He would have had a better QB rating if he spiked every single ball. And because of that, I know you say I'm contractually obligated to pick the Panthers. I can't pick the Panthers. They are trying to lose. They are trying to lose.
Oh, I just wanted another head-to-head.
But I'm still going to do it because I'm a homer.
Yeah, let's go.
The fake out. This might be the asterisk game. Like, I'm picking the Panthers, but I'm full expecting them to lose. But they will look good doing it, because the all black uniforms are coming out.
Oh, they're
including
gonna
the
really
the black helmets.
Who's better, the all black uniforms of the Panthers, or the all whites, or the white tigers in Cincinnati?
Bengals.
I mean, y'all haven't seen the Panthers uniform. I mean, you probably seen pictures, but
I've seen the pictures, but nothing will ever beat those white Tigers uniforms.
I mean, I'm biased. We've been waiting, like we've had the all black uniforms with the silver helmet, and then you change it to the black helmet. It just looks so clean.
You know what? You know what? Nothing's gonna beat though. Next year when the Bucks bring back the creamsicle, beautiful creamsicle.
I love the creamsicle. I'm with you on this one.
Yes.
Tennessee does creamsicle better than Tampa Bay. Tennessee
it doesn't have the original Bucko Bruce on the side. All right, JR, where are you going with this one? Are you gonna rise up, or are you gonna keep pounding?
I'll tell you, having seen both of these teams play my Bengals, they both were pretty much at their worst in those games. So it's tough for me to say. I think, the Thursday nights a lot of times favors the home team, the black uniforms, but man, I cannot pick the Panthers after that performance on Sunday. I got to go with the Falcons on this one.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, JR. I also, as much as I'd like to, I hope the Panthers win for the division's sake and for the Bucks' sake, but realistically, it's the Marcus Mariota show. All right.
This is y'all's chance to catch me in the standings. This is y'all's chance.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next up.
This is a good one, by the way. This is
Los Angeles on Sunday night, heading to the Bay Area to take on the Jimmy Garoppolo-led San Francisco 49ers.
No. You gotta change it. It's not the Jimmy Garoppolo led. It's the Christian McCaffrey led.
Honestly,
49ers.
Christian McCaffrey should just be quarterback for that team.
Exactly. No. Just keep switching Debo and CMC.
All right. Very interesting matchup. We'll start at the bottom. JR, what are you saying?
You know, I looked up Kyle Shanahan's record coming off bye weeks, and with the 49ers, he's 1-4 coming off of a bye. Now, that being said, they had a lot of guys dinged up heading into their bye week that I think maybe had a chance to get healthy. So I'm going to go with the 49ers in this one.
I like the pick. Brendan.
In theory, this Chargers team is good. In practice, this Charger team struggles to do what they should do, and that is move the ball and keep the ball from getting moved against them. This Chargers team, I thought was going to be great. They are a fraud. This will be the Niners' chance to start getting some wins back and start getting back into the division race and hopefully winning it, which is what they should be doing.
I'm going to be crazy. I'm going to be absolutely insane. I'm a Justin Herbert fan. I absolutely love what he does. I think that Jimmy Garoppolo wishes he could be Justin Herbert. However, Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel are going to be too much for this Charger defense. Give me San Francisco.
Y'all going to put the pressure on me to be the dissenter now, aren't you? I was hoping you would be the dissenter, Aiden.
I know.
Because one of my favorite players is now on the 49ers and Christian McCaffrey. And did you see what he did last week? Or was it 2 weeks ago now? Is it 2 weeks ago now? That he threw, ran, and caught a touchdown?
Yeah.
Like he's just – oh, yeah, because they were on bye last week. That's why. So I'm going 49ers. I was going to go 49ers from the beginning. I was hoping that Aiden would go Chargers with how he started out talking because I wanted someone to be different. But the thing is, like, we may have all picked the 49ers, but I think this is going to be a really close game. It's not going to be a blowout. It's going to be a really good game to watch.
I actually think this one's going to be pretty one-sided.
Okay,
I think this Chargers team is a fraud.
I think that the biggest one-sided game is going to be the next one we talk about. The 11-point favorite Philadelphia Eagles hosting the Washington Commies.
Yeah, you're not a believer in Heineke?
I am. As a matter of
fact,
fact,
a believer in Heineke.
As a matter of fact, I'm just going to jump in right now. I think this is the Eagles' first loss.
Whoa! Wow!
Bum 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 bum.
Wrong one. JR's not getting it. JR's not getting it. Bring it up one.
Oh, sorry.
I think it's extremely unlikely the Eagles make it to 10-0. And look, they're going to have to lose one of these next two games. And I think this is kind of a sneaky game that they might try to overlook. The Commanders play teams pretty close generally. Heineke is a much better quarterback than Carson Wentz is. Heineke works the offense a lot better than Carson Wentz does. Like he was solid last year, and he hooks up with the receivers better. I just kind of like this game to be a sneaky 24-21 kind of game where the Eagles kind of come out flat and then struggle to get back in it. Basically,
so, Brennan, I'm just going to give this to you
Eagles look like they did last week during Thursday night, but they're facing a better team.
You're just going to enjoy that red X now because you're absolutely insane. You deserve to be in a mental asylum. This is a Philadelphia Eagles.
You can't predict
this is the Philadelphia Eagles are going to ride this out. They're a very, very good and complete team. And if you really think that – I love Taylor Heineke, don't get me wrong. But if you think he can lead this Washington Commanders team to a win against these Eagles, you're absolutely crazy.
You know what? All I'm saying is that there wouldn't be upsets if everything happened the way we thought they were going to.
This whole football season has been an example of that. I mean, heck, the Jets beat the Bills last week.
Yeah,
Correct.
I don't think the Eagles are as good as 9-0 really represents, but I just can't see them losing this game.
Brendan, I want to agree with you and pick the Washington Commanders, and I agree with you that they will lose fairly soon. I just don't think it's the Commanders that are going to do it. I know they played the Vikings well this week, but I also think the Vikings aren't as good as their record as well. And I just don't see the way the Eagles are playing. I know they haven't played like quote unquote the best competition, but the way they are playing right now, I don't think the Commanders are going to be the team to beat them.
The Eagles are an amazing team, and this is not at all me insulting the Eagles.
Correct.
I really like the Eagles this year. I just think no team is going to go undefeated. I don't think any team finishes with one loss. I don't think any team finishes with two losses, frankly, in this NFL. I think they're going to have to lose games. Those losses are going to have to start coming sooner than later. And this is kind of one of those sneaky games I could see them potentially losing.
Fair enough.
I have a question for everyone because we're talking about like when the Eagles are going to lose. I'm trying to pull up the specific Eagles schedule, and I want to see aside from Brendan because he thinks it's going to happen this week. When do you think the Eagles take their first loss? And I'll start listing out the next few games. We've got the Commanders this week, Colts next week, Packers the week after that, then Titans, Giants, Bears, Cowboys, Saints, Giants. They have a really easy schedule.
I think they lose to either the Packers or Titans first.
I think it's the Titans.
I could see them losing to the Packers if they don't lose this week.
I think it's the Bears.
All the way down to week 15?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I think the Giants get them if nobody – I mean, I think the Giants get them before that.
I think it's very possible that when they get to the Titans, they actually lose 3 straight to the Titans, Giants, and Bears.
Yeah, I could easily see that.
And maybe even 4 straight after with the Cowboys after that.
Interesting.
Start going on a losing streak.
Let's go ahead and do our locks and our underdogs. We'll go our snake way that we do it. But, JR, you're going to start us with your lock this week. We'll go bottom up and then back down and around.
My lock this week, the Chiefs are just on a roll. They host the Jaguars this week, and they're going to throttle them.
I like it.
Got to find the Chiefs logo. It didn't even take that long. Calm down.
All right. Brendan.
Honestly, I think we pay you to be more prepared than this. I'm kind of ashamed.
You don't pay me at all, so you get the preparedness level of someone who's unpaid.
You know what? It's the Tua show.
Fair enough.
They're playing the Browns. This, I saw a tweet. Can't remember who tweeted it out. There is open, there's wide open, and then there's Miami Dolphins wide receivers open.
That's called wide slap open.
Yeah, I feel like you're going to have another game where they, amass over 500 yards of offense and just demolish the defense that they're facing. And I really don't think the Browns offense has what it takes to keep up.
Andrew.
Oh, you want me to go next?
We're going up.
Oh,
sure.
I'm next in the. Hold on, I'm next in the line. Sorry, I was reading. No, it's fine. I'll go next.
Oh,
keep the symmetry. I'm gonna go ahead and take the New York Football Giants against the Houston Texans. Giants look really good. Daniel Dimes has learned how to throw dimes. And
Daniel Dimes.
Daniel Dimes.
Daniel Dimes.
Kind of a weird 4.5 points favorites at home over the Texans. That's a weird line.
Yeah,
they should be favored by more.
Yeah,
I feel like they should be favored by more, but I like the Giants.
Yeah, Vegas hasn't been kind to the Giants.
You're stealing my strategy, Aiden. You took my whoever's playing the Texans strategy, which was working for me. I hadn't lost yet.
I feel like it's a pretty safe strategy.
It is, but actually I wasn't going to go with that. I'm going with something a little bit spicier. And I think that there was a team last week who looked really good, has been playing better recently than they did at the start of the season. And after the Packers played the Lions held them to 9 points. I think the Chicago Bears gash the Detroit Lions defense and start saying that Justin Fields just played better against the Lions defense than Aaron Rodgers. And I think the
Bears.
Bears
Da Bears.
are my lock of the week over the Lions.
Okay.
And the funny thing is, I've been like singing the Lions' praises at the beginning, like saying that they were a sneaky good team. I don't really think they're as good as we thought they were. I mean, their offense that was really good at the beginning of the season has started to fail recently. Their defense has gotten a little bit better, but I still don't think they're a really good team. I think the Bears are looking really good right now.
Let's cut back to the beginning of the season. Oh, yeah, this is definitely like a 6-7 win team kind of deal. I was the one saying they're a 4-win team, so
That's fair.
I feel pretty good about this.
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
Well,
So,
All right.
I guess that means I get my upset.
Yep.
All right, Aiden. This one's directed at you.
Mm-hmm.
The Seattle Seahawks are going to take down the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, that was going to be mine. I like it.
How about the lack of respect for the Seahawks there on a neutral field, being an
Oh yeah,
underdog
it's the Germany game.
yeah.
You know what I think is going to happen here? I think a bunch of German people who don't have a whole lot of experience with the NFL are going to go to this game hearing stories about how they're getting to watch the greatest quarterback in the NFL. And they're going to walk away from this game thinking Geno Smith is the greatest quarterback in NFL history. That's what's going to happen, and I am here for it.
Ganz gut.
That's good.
That's Geno Smith good.
Trinken das Bier.
And let's hope we just haven't
Tampa
alienated
Bay.
our German audience now.
Tampa Bay is the NFL did like where they took specific teams and made them like the teams of specific areas where they're going to do international games. And the Bucks were chosen as Munich's team. So there's a bunch of Bucks paraphernalia around Germany. They already showed
I think
one bar that has a bunch of Bucks stuff up there.
I think the Panthers are another city in Germany. I can't remember. Which
Yeah,
one,
they're Dusseldorf, I think.
I think so. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And the Jaguars
So,
got London.
Yeah, Jaguars are London.
I'm going to go ahead and take the New York Jets against the bye this week is my underdog.
A week late on the underdog pick there, Aiden.
Oh, whoops, my bad. No, I'm going to go ahead and take the disrespect of Jeff Saturday and the Indianapolis Colts, baby. Give me the Colts against the Raiders in Indy. He's going to be bringing them some big stuff. I love it. Let's go Colts, baby.
Yeah, you're talking as if it's a really big deal that they beat the Raiders, who have already blown 3 different 17-point leads.
It absolutely is a big deal. This Colts team is disgusting.
Okay.
And you know what? That right there is the most appropriately stupid thing that could ever possibly happen in the NFL. And because of how stupid it is, I almost guarantee it's going to happen.
Heck yeah.
Almost guaranteed.
Well, it is the NFL.
All right, Brennan, where are you heading?
So I'm going to go ahead and cheat a little bit because Josh Allen is questionable with an elbow injury. At home against the Minnesota Vikings, the Bills are still favored by 3.5 points. And I think even if Allen plays, a hobbled Allen, who did not look good the last 2 games, against a Vikings team that is pretty good, I think the Vikings might just roll in there and steal themselves a win against Buffalo.
You know, this could be the battle of which Vikings quarterback is better. If Josh Allen does not play, do you know who's in line to start?
Case Keenum, baby.
Case Keenum, baby.
And you know what? All I'm saying is that I would have never picked the Vikings if I had not seen Kirk Cousins shirtless, absolutely cut, dancing, baby. I love it.
He did it way better than Adam Schefter did.
Oh, that was great.
Now, I will say, though, it feels like Brendan is completely forgetting that the Vikings just almost lost to the Commanders.
I think the Commanders are a not terrible team.
Which is why you picked them against the Eagles.
Yeah.
I think the
I also
Vikings
think
just
that
aren't as good
I
as
think
their
the Vikings
record
play
says.
at exactly their competition's level for the most part.
I think no matter who starts at quarterback, it's not even going to be as close of a game as you're expecting. I think whether it's Case Keenum or Josh Allen, this Bills team is going to put a pretty good hurt
They just lose to
on
the Jets,
the Vikings.
So maybe we can go ahead and pump the brakes on the Bills are going to the Super Bowl train.
I didn't say they were going to the Super Bowl.
I know, but that's kind of was the thinking. I feel like a lot of people took away from the first half of the season.
Fair enough. JR.
Speaking of injured quarterbacks, Matt Stafford is in the concussion protocol for the Rams. So I'm going to go with the Cardinals pulling out an upset in LA and getting back into a little bit closer shape in that division race.
You know,
that was my backup pick.
Is that the Cardinals are 0-2 since Modern Warfare 2 came out, and you know,
I don't know. Weekend. It is double XP weekend.
I love it. I don't play Call of Duty, but it's great.
It's also a division game, so he's a little more familiar with the division opponent.
Exactly, he's a little bit more familiar, so he doesn't have to focus and game plan as much. He's like, oh no, I know what to expect here. I can stay up till 3 a.m.
That's right.
And that TDM. You think Kyler Murray is a team deathmatch guy, or you think he plays other games?
No, he's definitely a hard point guy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, I feel like in high school and like middle school, he was definitely a CS:GO player.
Yeah, I go with that.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Team deathmatch, hard points is just different game modes. That's all you need to know.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. So we now see where all of us are headed with these games, but we would like to rewind a little more. We'd like to take it back, flash you back to one of our inaugural episodes of this podcast.
That was
where we gave
episode.
It was the inaugural episode.
I thought the inaugural episode was us talking about the Major League Baseball playoffs.
That's right.
So we would like to toss it back and talk about who we thought was going to win each division. Yikes.
And who was going to make the playoffs as a wild card team.
So I'm going to pull up the standings here real quick on my phone, so that way we can have access to it. So taking a look at in the American, in the AFC North, that's where we'll start. Baltimore at 6-3 are leading the pack. Cincinnati at 5-4, followed by a bad Cleveland and a bad Pittsburgh team. So the AFC North, everyone's picks are still alive and still have a chance. I don't think anyone's exactly shocked at this. We thought it was going to be a tight race.
Yeah. Right now, though, I think Brendan has the edge because, and no offense to the Bengals, they look really good against bad teams. They need to start winning against better teams before I can think they're going to end up winning the division.
The Ravens have had a double-digit lead in all 9 games. I don't think you get unlucky like that very many more times. I think that this is a Ravens team that's going to finish with 12 wins.
Yeah, there's a couple games earlier in the season that the Bengals are going to regret squandering, especially that opener against Pittsburgh. So,
in the AFC South, Tennessee leading the way at 5-3, Indy at 3-5-1, Jacksonville at 3-6, and Houston at 1-6-1. JR had his crystal ball out apparently for this one.
I seem to recall getting a lot of grief from all 3 of you about my Titans pick. And all 3 of you were very, very excited about the prospects of Matt Ryan playing quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts.
How about we move on to the AFC East? You know what, JR?
It's not over yet. I mean, there's still, 8 games left, but I feel
I'm just glad that my regular season picks are doing better than that one.
Jeff Saturday is going to lead these Colts, baby. You just watch.
Yes, they're going to lead them, but we don't think
know
it's
where.
going to be in the playoffs. Yeah.
No. All right. In the AFC East, Buffalo at 6-2 with a half-game lead on the 6-3 New York Football Jets, who are tied with the Miami Dolphins and the 5-4 New England Patriots.
All 4 teams above 500.
Yeah, who saw this being the best division in the AFC?
Not me.
No, we thought that was going to be the West.
Yeah, maybe the best division in the NFL, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Right now, yeah.
All I'm saying is that the Jets being good now is my favorite thing to happen this NFL season. It's right there with the Seahawks, the miracle run.
Imagine what they would be if they
quarterback.
I imagine where they'd be if they still had Breece Hall too. That was a horrible injury.
Imagine where they'd be if they had a good quarterback.
Yeah, that's true.
Imagine where they'd be if they had an average quarterback. Imagine where they'd be if they had a slightly below average quarterback.
Give him credit.
Imagine where they'd be if they had Baker. Oh wait, never mind.
Hey, we said slightly below average, not absolutely garbage.
I know. Hey, he looked good in the second half against the Bengals.
Hey, give them credit though. They did go out and get James Robinson after Breece Hall went down. So
yeah, and they still have Michael Carter there. Michael Carter is still a serviceable running back, people. Let's not take this away. A solid 10 to 15 fantasy points a week. I'll take it. All right.
I will say, because we all picked the Bills. This pick is not as safe as we probably thought at the beginning of the season. We could easily see either Miami or New York still win this division.
Honestly,
it is.
New England.
This is the most. I think this is the most exciting division race to watch right now.
Don't discount New England. New England is
I think
not out of it.
Their defense is really good. I don't think their offense has enough to get past the 3 teams above them. But they are doing better than I thought they would, honestly.
Over in the AFC West, Kansas City at 6-2, the Chargers at 5-3, Denver at 3-5, and Las Vegas at 2-6. So all of our picks still stand a chance here in the West.
I don't think it's gonna end up. Again, JR is looking smart once again. I don't think it's gonna be really hard for the Chargers to catch up to the Colts
every year.
The Chargers to the Chiefs. Gee whiz.
Every year, everyone wants to take the Chargers to finally be their year where they finally get out of their own way. And I think we all just need to come to grips with the fact this team is never going to get out of their own way. It's who they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as long as Patrick Mahomes is there with a lot of weapons, I know he doesn't have as many as he had before, but that team still, if you watch that game Sunday night against the Titans, I mean, some of the plays he made to bring them back in the second half, just incredible that what he's able to do with the football and his legs.
And so the wild cards are as follows right now. Jets have the number 1 wild card, Miami with the number 2, and Chargers with the number 3 wild card, a half game up on both New England and Cincinnati. So
the only person who has a real shocker, oh yeah, they're definitely out of the race already, is the Broncos over there and Andrew's wildcard picks.
I thought Russell Wilson was gonna be the answer for Denver.
You thought they were gonna ride.
What's happening with Geno Smith in Seattle is what I thought was gonna happen with Russell in Denver. Which is ironic that it's those 2 teams.
That's fair.
Broncos country, let's ride.
Let's ride.
Bottom of the division.
And let's also
the Raiders are still there.
No. I'm saying they're going to get to the bottom of the division. They're on their way.
Let's ride over to the NFC and let's take a look at where we all did.
That was a horrible
in the
segue.
NFC.
Yeah, let's all right. So moving on to the NFC South.
Yeah.
JR is looking so smart with all his picks.
Yeah.
Let's just say my week-to-week picks have been the absolute garbage, but I'm feeling pretty good about all these.
One of the biggest things that we trashed JR for during that episode was he had the Packers completely out of the playoffs.
Well,
and now he's looking like the smartest person in the room.
So, NFC North is as follows: 7-1 Minnesota Vikings, the 3-6 Chicago Bears, the 3-6 Green Bay Packers, and the 2-6 Detroit Lions.
The Vikings could have this division wrapped up before December, I think.
That's crazy.
Yeah, mathematically.
If the other 3 teams keep losing and the Vikings keep winning.
You know what? Who knew that making your roster worse every year would eventually lead to your team sucking? Quarterback Jesus can't save you every year.
I think at this point he's quarterback hippie.
I think one of the greatest stories though is who was the player from the defender from the Packers that's playing with the Vikings now? What's his name? But there was a really stud defensive player on the Packers that is now playing for the Vikings this year. He signed a free agent deal with them, and he just absolutely wrecking shop with the Vikings this year.
Yeah,
sure.
I can't remember. I need to look.
That's
going to bother me now.
Probably the second worst division in football in the NFC South. Bucks currently leading at 4-5, tied with the Atlanta Falcons at 4-5. New Orleans at 3-6, and Carolina at 2-7. Andrew with another outlandish pick in his wild card out there. Which
We're not talking about the wild card right now. Shush.
about.
By the way, Zadarius Smith was the player I was thinking.
Yeah, I was literally just looking at the roster right now.
I will say the NFC South is the worst division in football right now.
Worse than the AFC South?
Yeah,
Yes.
At least the AFC South has the Titans.
Nah, fair enough.
I think the NFC South is really the most beautiful thing that exists in the sport. Every team here has some major flaw that keeps them from being anywhere near good. And it's really beautiful to watch. I said this before. I will continue saying it. I love watching incompetent football, bad football. It is entertaining. And
so hold on.
Really entertaining football in the NFC South.
So can we name the flaws? Okay. Carolina, don't have a quarterback.
Or a coach.
New Orleans, don't have a team.
They don't have a quarterback either.
New Orleans can't stop anybody, and struggles to gain yards consistently.
True. Atlanta.
Bad quarterback.
Atlanta's probably the most complete team in the division, but what they lack, what they have in completion, they lack in good talent at literally every position.
It's like one of those jack of all trades, master of none kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't even say jack of all trades. I would say like if you're in the Madden editor, they're like a 67 overall.
They're just role players. They have role players.
Solid enough in every rating, but they're not good.
Yeah, and then
you don't have any
Tampa Bay.
superstars.
Tampa Bay is an offensive line that's holier than Swiss cheese.
And a quarterback who is afraid to hold on to the ball.
That too.
And sometimes receivers are afraid to hold on to the ball.
Oh, yeah. I agree with JR. I don't know if you guys heard what he just said.
Or sometimes linebackers that don't know how to, play football either.
JR, repeat what you said so they can hear you.
I said sometimes receivers who are afraid to hold on to the ball.
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans fucking dropped.
Mike Evans. All right.
I lost a fantasy game because of that.
I know you
NFC
did.
East. Philly at 8-0, Dallas at 6-2, New York Giants at 6-2, Washington at 4-5. Andrew, you and I look kind of smart right now.
I wish I had picked the Eagles to when we're talking about our playoff picks. I wish I had picked them instead of who I did pick.
Yeah.
But in this case, I look good. But I mean, there's the Cowboys and Giants are only 2 games back of them. So
yeah, they still have a chance.
They still have a chance. I'd say the Cowboys. The Cowboys still have a legit shot to take over the Eagles. I think the Giants will fall a little short. But.
And I don't think. Go ahead.
I was going to say that when Dak Prescott got hurt in that first game, I was certainly feeling like this was going to be one pick that was going to go down the toilet. But they definitely held it together enough until he got back.
You know what? Future Panthers quarterback Cooper Rush really kept them in there.
Oh Lord! But the division where none of us saw any of which happening is the NFC West, where the Geno Smith-led 12-man Seattle Seahawks lead the division at 6-3, 49ers at 4-4, and the Rams at 3-5, Arizona at 3-6.
I still think Brendan has a chance to get this right. I don't think I have a chance.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it here for all you because I want it on record. I am convinced the Seattle Seahawks are going to win the Super Bowl. I'm convinced it's going to happen. That is the storyline that is going to be produced by this NFL season. It makes all the sense in the world. It is. I say this a lot about the NFL. It's stupid enough. The NFL is a stupid league where stupid things happen all the time. And
Didn't you already say that on this podcast once?
I did.
Yeah.
Get the
Wait,
count
that's
out.
unrecorded?
I
can't remember.
He said it before since we've been here, so we've already heard this at least once. Maybe you guys have.
I wanted it on the record because I've been telling anybody who will listen this is going to happen.
Who says we're listening?
Yeah. This is the one pick I would like to have back, but hey, you can't get them all right.
Yeah. So overall in the comp, you got Philly at 1, Minnesota at 2, Seattle at 3, Tampa Bay at 4, Dallas with the first wild card, Giants with the second, and San Francisco with the third currently. Atlanta a half game out as well as Washington a half game out. So
Brutal.
Andrew,
I made my
Andrew,
Panthers pick. I made my Panthers pick fully expecting it to not come to fruition. It would just look really good if it happened.
bottom
So.
of the NFC table right now.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
It's
So,
CJ Stroud or Bryce Young season, baby.
True. Playoffs. We're talking
Playoffs.
about our playoff predictions.
Yeah.
So-
let's not talk about mine.
So I would like to say that I think all of ours outside of Andrew still have a chance at the NFC side of things.
You have a chance, but I don't know if the Bucks' chance looks very good.
Yeah,
I see a divisional round exit for the Bucks.
Yeah, I do too. With how bad they're playing, I do too. Hey, but
At least your pick makes it to the playoffs. Mine is
Hold
not
on.
going to make it to the playoffs.
I think I distinctly remember, Brennan, Andrew giving you and I a lot of crap for picking the Eagles to make it to the NFC Championship game. I distinctly remember getting a lot of crap from Andrew about it.
I don't think I gave you a lot of crap for the Eagles.
I might have. I really did not have that much faith in the Eagles to
I
make
think it was
that
JR,
far. Yeah.
honestly.
It might have been JR.
Because
Sorry.
I picked the Eagles because remember I picked the Eagles
Yes,
to win
that's
the
right,
East,
it
and
was
I didn't even have the Cowboys making the playoffs.
That's right. It was
But-
JR.
But the Cowboys are looking good to make.
I
the
don't
playoffs right
remember
now, so.
what we recorded last week or the week before. I mean,
We didn't
I don't
record
remember
last
what
week.
happened to that episode.
Yeah.
We didn't even record last week, so no wonder you can't remember.
Yeah, that's true.
And technically, on the other side, we all stand a chance.
Yeah.
We all stand a chance still. All of them look possible. I think out of all of them, it's probably JR's or me and Andrew's that's probably the most unrealistic at this point.
I think Brendan's is the most likely.
Yes, Brendan's is probably the most likely. Of our Super Bowl winners, technically all of them are still plausible. I think Brendan's or mine are the one that's the most out there at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah, but the
still,
Bills are on a slide.
The 49ers, I think, are built for a postseason run if they can get there in good shape and get the right matchup. But Tampa Bay, just unless something really, really drastically changes, that team just.
But you know what? And I'm going to say this as a Tampa Bay fan, but also just watching the game that I watched. I think that game last week with Tom Brady leading the drive late, with how they played over what is still a decent Rams team. They still have a lot of really good pieces on that Rams team. I think that might have been the kick in the butt the Bucs need to get back to how they've played in previous seasons.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, and
I know.
That's the thing at this point. You gotta prove it now. I mean that they've had the benefit of the doubt for quite a while this season and just haven't looked good.
We'll see how they do in Germany.
So we'll see how they do in Germany.
Or they might be saying Auf Wiedersehen to this season.
Yeah. Oh, look at JR out here with the
Flexing his
knowledge.
German knowledge. Yeah.
All right. Well, we appreciate everyone for watching this episode. Please make sure to follow all the social links down below. Make sure to subscribe and like the video as well. Gentlemen, any last things before we head out?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say it might be on a bye week, but I gotta have at least one Houday in here.
And our Panthers may look good this week, but we are totally trying to get that first pick.
Yeah, that's true.
Last time the Panthers had the first pick, they turned it into Cam Newton, which turned out decently well until the end. But
Superman.
But here's the thing: I don't know which quarterback I want. I don't know if I want Stroud or Young, or maybe who is the Kentucky quarterback that people keep talking about too.
Oh no, you don't want him.
I don't
You
know
sure you don't
about
want
him either.
Anthony Richardson?
Nope. Hendon
like an
Hooker
Anthony
was
Richardson.
okay until he played Georgia this past week.
I don't even know that
That's
you
fair.
want a quarterback first overall.
We need a quarterback.
Brennan, anything before we head out?
Honestly, I can't think of anything. I was like,
That's a
trying to
first.
think of something.
I was expecting something.
You heard it
witty.
here first, folks. The first time Brendan didn't have something to say.
Yep, first time.
Thank God. Well, this has been another episode of Pros.
Yeah, mark it down.
I marked it.
Well, this has been another episode of Joe's on the Pros. For Andrew, JR, and the weirdo down below with the mascots hanging out behind him, we appreciate you all joining us. Take care and have a great week. We'll see y'all next time.
Well, since Aiden's host,
Oh, I get the top corner spot this week?
you're the host.
I'm so special.
Why are you guys doing that?
I didn't do it.
I know.
felt like it. I felt like this feels right.
You like being a bottom, don't you?
Oh, I'm Aiden's bottom.
I'm good now.
Everyone good?
Let's ride.
Damn it, I was waiting for him to start talking, then I was gonna do it.
I'm not putting that one in.
Yeah, the water came out your nose. Let's go.